Hi.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Um, hey guys, it is I, your specialist boy. I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the one your
Mm.
mama warned you about.
Oh, you're too kind.
It's a creepy Colin, or as he's also known, Don Spoopino.
Colin Spoopino. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here tonight doing a Spoopy Boys episode. It's a great honor. We're going to go talk about movies that were initially my idea, but I was later cut out of. Um, that is the canon and legends we are establishing here today.
So, Don Spoopino, does that mean that you were like a member of the studio system in Italy at that
It
time
was
period?
no one else. My name has been erased from the history books, but it
Yeah.
was initially my idea for Italian copyright law to just do whatever you wanted with whatever property, even within Italy itself. Say you want to make a sequel to someone else's movie, and they're like, "No, you can't do it. You can go ahead and do it. It's Italia, baby." Mwah.
Oh my god. So, yeah, we're talking about unofficial Italian sequels and all their goddamn glory.
Hmm.
Where do you want to start at tonight? I think you've got
Um,
5 or 6 movies that we
yeah,
worked our
I
way
think
through.
we should start with the absolute worst first, which would be Alien. Ah, ciao, Super Spike. I heard a
Uh,
lot about you.
Troll 2 is the worst. Let's not even.
No. My friend, Troll 2 is a work of art. It's like a fine wine. Or, you know what?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not.
vinegar.
It's a vinegar, but it's a wonderful vinegar that you bring out for Sunday dinner when you're
It's the
having a
only
little bit of
movie on the
manigot.
whole. It's the only movie on the list I did not watch.
Oh, really? Oh, well, it's wonderful. I'd say I'd want to start with what I'd say is the worst for me, which would
Okay.
be Alien 2 on Earth.
Oh man,
But when I first came up with the idea for Alien
Alien
2 on
2
Earth,
in a cave.
Alien in a cave with telepathic Ripley is vinegar from
Oh,
the finest vino. You're very right, Spike. You're very right. All right.
that movie was real bad. It
No,
was better than Troll 2 in my opinion.
um it uh Alien 2 there's really nothing redeeming about it. It's
It's
I,
it, it's so like visually tropey
mhm,
for other movies in that time period
yeah,
that it almost feels like they just cut scenes from other movies and smushed them together.
yeah,
Um, it's
it's it's a strange thing. It's
it's like if Sandy Frank did Italian movies.
yeah,
For those that
uh,
don't know, Sandy Frank is famous for taking Japanese television shows, cutting them into 2-hour blocks, and then releasing the United States as movies.
some classics out of there
Yeah,
though.
I mean, if you're a
Yeah,
Mystery Science Theater person, then
yeah.
they
Yeah.
they tried to kill me with a forklift, so which is one of my favorite 2 Mystery Science Theaters ever.
Yeah.
Is
Those are,
it's not Starfighters, is it? I can't
I
remember the name
think
of the
I
movie.
want to say Starfighters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one and
Um,
one and two because they did both of them.
and Joel did so many Sandy Frank things. I feel like too.
It was a lot.
Yeah, there's so much. Okay, but yeah, we're like yeah, this movie is such a it's a hodgepodge, but not a fun hodgepodge. It's just so many. I don't. It's so weird because like I mean you know what we can and I feel like we can go into full spoiler territory with
Oh yeah,
these
don't
because
watch this.
yeah,
It's
especially
not
do
even
not watch it.
it's not even a fun like get your friends together movie. It's just
Mhm.
too ponderous. It takes a
Yeah,
while to get started, and
takes
then
so long.
once it gets started, you're like, what?
And
Why?
yeah, like
But
there's
why though?
the so there's these it's
Huh?
it's it's I don't know. The aliens
Oh
are not the same aliens
no,
at
not
all.
at all. They are on Earth.
Rock monsters that like shoot out like what look like dog dicks. It's just there. It's just I don't know. Yeah, it's so dumb. It's just really bad. You've got
It is really
not
bad.
Ripley, who is telepathic, but her telepathy only like is like you're gonna die, and then someone. It's just
She's
so
like,
shitty.
I can feel them.
Mhm.
They're speaking to me.
Yeah.
It's just a really weird ensemble like cast that they have
Yeah.
of spelunkers who came completely ill prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. And they, if I remember right,
You know
they
what
bring like
what was a better cave movie than this that was in your
anything.
list of watch? Crow Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some cave shit in that.
There's some cave action in Cruel Jaws.
The very beginning.
And hold on. Ugh. It's so hard to talk with that in my mouth.
I can't
the entire
imagine.
Time. Okay. Sorry. I'm abandoning character, but I'll keep the costume.
Well, now you do just look like Boris Karloff.
When I came up, I don't even know how does he say.
Boris Karloff's got a super deep voice.
Boris.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, it's Maeve the Brave.
Yep, the spoopiest of gals.
What's up?
I didn't got a loose tooth yet.
You didn't get a loose tooth from eating that apple?
Uh-huh.
Gosh, dang it. Okay. Well, next time. We'll work on it. We'll get all the apples.
That's it, Earl Disney.
Hey, did I ever tell you I came up with Oswald the Rabbit? Maeve, stop. Go.
Earl Disney living in a trailer park just outside of Orlando.
He's got dibs on Walt's head.
He's the OG Florida man. Hey, Walt told me to move to Florida to get things moving along. Greasing palms.
Spends his days actually like cosplaying as Walt. He's like, I'm a Disney.
I'm an Imagineer over here.
I'm imagining you putting $5 into my coffee can.
I just imagine Earl Disney is a guy who fell in with retired mobsters in Florida and just adopted their entire like countenance. Hey, Walt, you can't let them push you around like that. I'm a guy that knows guys, the retired guys with the guys.
Walt, we got to get those Bluth boys out of the animation game. I know a few people who can break some pencils, if you know what I'm saying.
They cell shade one of yours, one of theirs. God, what is wrong with us?
Yeah, but aliens too. Yeah, like so it's a cave movie. I don't know why they choose to make it a cave movie.
Because it's on Earth, and when everyone thinks of Earth, they think cave.
Yeah. Everyone dies. The gore is terrible for the most part. There's like one exploding head that's really fun, but otherwise, like everyone else, like it looks like a big salami slaps them in the face, and they get covered with. Yeah, they go and have like jam rubbed all over their faces.
There's a lot of scenes that are like that you don't really see what happens, but then they do the move where they turn to the camera and like shit all over their face, like
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
If you had a little gray mustache right now, you would straight up look like Karloff out of what was the Bava movie where they did the Vargolak?
Oh,
was it? It was.
You're not wrong. Oh my god! I see it.
It was. Oh god! Now I'm just gonna look it up because we have internet.
We have the technology.
Mario Bava Vargolak.
I'm an old man.
Tell me all about Bava, but no one wants to tell me about this movie that Bava.
Tell me about Bava. Tell me all about that Bava. And yeah, so and then it's happening before your eyes, Super Spike. I'm Benjamin Buttoning.
He's having a reverse werewolf.
Oh yeah. Well, if I don't know if everyone was if you were here for my werewolf, when I became a werewolf, I slowly lost my ears over the course of that episode, and my mullet that I had from All Out of Bubblegum last night, that disappeared after the itch.
Black Sabbath.
Yep.
I guess it was Black Sabbath.
The movie.
Yeah, not the band.
Not the band that
Chris
Fozzie's better.
Jericho. Yeah, that Chris Jericho would tell you that he's better than.
You know what? Black Sabbath has not. They have never in their history ever been celebrated. Everyone knows they're derivative, and no one has taken inspiration from them. But Fozzy, whoa! Watch out! I mean, let's be honest.
Chris
Did
Jericho.
Black Sabbath do Fozzy attendance numbers? I mean, Fozzy played 81,000 folks. Come on, that was a Fozzy concert. That was a Fozzy concert, if you ask Chris Jericho.
Because yeah, when you ask most heavy metal bands, they go, "Oh, influences? Oh, it's the building blocks of heavy metal. You know, Led Zeppelin, you know, Fozzy, retroactively going back in time."
Mm. Yeah, like yeah.
Nice. So anyway, we're getting back to Cave. The music's bad as well.
Yeah, not even like some of these movies on here.
Well, some of these movies have Goblin and Goblin.
Yeah,
always
well, like
rocks.
Ogre. Ogre's kind of a little bit of a boring movie, but the music's super good in it. You didn't like the music? Okay, well, yeah.
That movie.
Oh,
I have feelings about that movie.
But I really, yeah, everything about this production, head to toe, Alien 2 on Earth, is just the pits.
Do you think if they cut 20 minutes out of this movie, it would be much more fun? Like if it felt more like a sprint and not a marathon?
If you made this a 61-minute movie, this would be fun. Yeah. Even with the dumb ending where everyone's dead.
It's not even Mystery Science Theaterable.
It's not because it's just it's
boring.
There's so much of nothing happening, and
then when stuff happens, you're like, that's it. I waited for that.
And the unfun part about it is it's not even like,
it's not fun.
Everything's so completely recycled
yeah.
that like you're just like, you can't have fun with even the deaths really, because once you see except for the head explosion,
it's like a pastiche of a pastiche of a pastiche. It's like a
Xerox
of a Xerox of a Xerox. It's just
because everything
now it's just nothing.
Yeah, everything is just like slap, jam, someone and then
fuck that movie. It was not good.
Not good at all. Not good at all.
What's next on your list?
Let's talk the Ogre. Slow. I liked it though.
I kind of like this movie. It's very slow. It has
like
nothing to do with the other Demons movies at all.
Well, so behind the scenes, apparently, so done by Lamberto Bava, who did the Demons movies,
which is so weird.
And I guess he didn't want this to be associated with demons in any way, form. And in Italy, it's only known as the Ogre. But I guess his partners, they got a little bit of the Spoopino fever. And when they released it overseas, they were like, we're calling it Demons 3.
I you know what? I felt like this was trying to be a gothic movie, like in a modern setting.
Yeah, this is very much
it's kind of Castle Freakish in some ways,
I mean,
but more supernatural. I did not dislike this. I think the monster looked great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the Ogre.
You know what else? It kind of reminded me. It kind of reminded me of what's the full moon flick with like the hairy monster with the two with the what is that? It's almost kind of a werewolf, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde movie. You know what I'm talking about? It's a full moon flick. But the like the monster is a big like lupine-ish creature. It's got a gothic feel to it.
if I'm remembering like the poster art, it was like an actual still shot from the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it not the not it's not the uninvited, I don't think, because that's the thing about the evil cat.
Meridian Kiss of the Beast.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Meridian Kill. Ooh.
It has that same kind of
Oh, not
feel.
what I was thinking of, but I know that movie though. Yeah, yeah.
Like this movie felt like it could have been a full moon movie. And I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, and Spike, it was supposed to be for this Italian horror like anthology series, I believe, of like standalone little movies and stuff.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this a lot. And also another
This one
movie
surprised me.
I mentioned, or a movie we had mentioned previous that I feel like this kind of has a little bit of the same vibe to is like A Company of Wolves. There's this very fairy tale kind of surreal quality to it that like it's slow, it takes its time, and you feel like you're in a you feel like it's a dream that these people are inhabiting almost the way
it's a dream within a dream, baby. You know what it reminds me of too is oh gosh darn it just ran away from me. Sorry, it's gone. I had it and it just said it I thought the music was good.
Yeah.
I very much liked the setup. I just it was a strangely little enjoyable movie. It's not gonna blow your doors off, but if you're looking for kind of that fairy tale horror, it definitely scratches that itch.
This would be a perfect movie for like a really, really downpour rainy day, and you got a nice, comfy like comforter blanket to wrap up in like a nice warm drink or something. Like it's cozy horror.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Blanket horror, cozy horror.
Yeah.
I think that the acting could have been better. I love the idea of is the lady writing this thing into existence, which
was fun.
Felt very Poe-esque, or even Lovecraft-esque, even though it was more of a Poe vibe.
And I love the cutting between like her as a young girl, her memories of it being like chased and pursued by it, and then like the modern day kind of run-ins with the ogre, and just like the whole thing with her husband, like, what are you talking about here?
It's not overacted, it's not badly acted, but this movie would have been really good if it would have had some names in it to see what they could have done with something like this. Godzilla.
Ooh.
That's my new thing. People sneeze, I'm just gonna say Godzilla.
I like it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. This was the one out of everything where I was like, okay, this is surprising.
Oh, like that you'd qualify as like a solid actual movie for its own merits than just like fun bad.
Like I knew going in, I already knew I really liked Zombie.
But
I know we'll get to that. Because you pointed something out, and I was like, oh God, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one really snuck up on me in a way I was not expecting, and for that, I was like, okay, this is solid. Like this is a solid little horror flick. It's a movie I wouldn't pick out, but if it was a movie that someone threw on, I would be like, oh hell yeah, I'm down to watch this.
Yeah. Especially after having seen it, if anyone's like, oh, I've got the Ogre Demons 3. Let's throw that on. That's actually fun.
Oh yeah, it's rainy out. Let's watch Demons 3.
For sure.
It definitely lacks the energy of the first two Demons movies.
Nowhere near.
Yeah, it is definitely, like you said, it's a fairy tale-esque horror.
Yeah. Like this is like There Will Be Blood, and Demons 1 and 2 are like Crank 1 and 2. If you want to, like, it's like you've got these just balls to the walls, fucking nuts movies that are
great.
They're great. Oh, I love.
You're exactly right. It's a completely different style of story,
and yeah, just completely different goals too with what kind of movie they're trying to make. Like, yeah, but I would say I enjoy. Well, I don't know, because the Demons 1 is a movie I can throw on anytime.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love that, especially the finale with the theater and the motor. But like I even though this was not supposed to be a part of the Demons.
Uh-oh. Well, that's an intense look the Dawn is giving us.
No. Okay. What?
Your visual froze for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. You were like wide-eyed, and I was like, I hope somebody screenshots that. It's great. Like, you look like the love child of old Boris Karloff and a middle-aged Vincent Price.
Come to my party. There'll be ghosts and drinks. Oh, this mustache it's for a child, so it doesn't fit my face.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
I'll dig it back up and put it back on. What's up?
That's why you shouldn't use kids.
I know. I stole the mustache from you. You've been giving me guff for like all day. I know I shouldn't steal mustaches from kids. Okay, get out of here.
But Dad,
what?
One thing.
What?
I want to get a tooth.
Why, you want your tooth to come out so you can get money from the tooth fairy so we can put it in your cool little new tooth fairy thing that Grandma Mary gave you?
Huh?
Figured it out. All right, cool. Boom. Ow. Okay.
So strong.
Okay, head. I'll deal with you later. And
the real horror is the Maeve we made along the way.
Yeah, man, she runs this house. It's crazy.
I will say, oh my God, that's great.
That's awesome. I love that.
I will say one thing that hit me really big when I was watching this is like, oh shit, would be a perfect like thing to riff on in a Ravenloft game.
Oh yeah. This would lend totally to
like,
Ravenloft.
I would do it, and maybe I will do it. I don't know. That the monster is actually only comes when it's being written, and the person feels compelled to write the monster.
Yeah,
the monster is basically their childhood friend. Yeah, it's that whole like what's the movie about the girl who is now grown up and her childhood friend is her
Drop Dead Fred.
Drop Dead Fred, yeah, it's still around and waiting.
Wonderful film. At first I thought you were talking about the Sarah Polley, I believe, starring film where she finds a monster. It's called No Such Thing. It's a wonderful movie. No Such Thing. But
we
Drop Dead Fred's great.
We would not recommend Alien.
I would recommend this for sure.
Where would you put it though on our continuum of horror? I don't think this is a starter horror.
No.
There's a lot of little things going on as far as like it's Italian, it's Umberto.
Yeah, I'd bump this up to like if it's like level 1, 2, and 3, this would be like a tier 3.
And then 4 is like the big stuff.
Yeah, because this isn't like so intense or anything like that, but I feel like, or it's not gonna throw you into a mood or anything, but I feel
you gotta like horror to want to watch.
Yeah, you gotta like horror, and I feel like having a real good familiarity with different genres, with different countries' interpretations of what horror can be, really helps.
This is the most. I think this might be the most Mario Bava Umberto did. It's the most like his father.
Yes, yeah. This I wouldn't say it's him necessarily doing like a love letter to his dad or competing with his dad, but it's definitely him digging into that same well that his father drew inspiration from.
That's why I think this movie had somebody who could give it at least a little bit of the same gravitas that Boris Karloff gave a lot of those Bava movies, or Barbara Steele gave some of those Bava movies. I think.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, yeah. If you remade this with a director, I don't know who you maybe I don't know who you'd choose, but like put someone like a Jennifer Connelly or something like that in the lead
Imagine
role.
Del Toro doing this, because this is a perfect, like, this is in Del Toro's wheelhouse.
Yes. Oh my God. I bet like I would love to be like, hey, you want to do the ogre?
I would love to
see his
see this
reaction.
be as like a movie that he does with stop motion or something like that. That he's, you know.
This would lend itself really well to, yeah, I didn't even think about that. This would be a wonderful piece of animated horror.
I would love just to know his thoughts on this movie, because he's seen it.
Yeah.
This would be one of those movies where just go, what do you think about this movie? Like, what are your feelings and your thoughts on it?
Yeah. And just thinking of like the more, I wouldn't say necessarily boring, but like the more languid pieces of the film, to lend that to animation and see what someone could do with that to put a little more life into that.
That's why when he mentioned that he might do At the Mountains of Madness as stop motion, I was like, oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Although that test shot stuff they had with CGI
was cool. I remember, when you showed me that was amazing. I loved that. That was great.
All right, what's next on our list?
Okay, let's do Alien Ogre. Let's do Ghost House, which was supposed to be Evil Dead 3. And it's shit.
Like, I have a hard time not comparing this to Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell.
Me too.
As Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's like it's so funny.
Kissing cousins.
Yeah, like, so the Evil Dead series in Italy is called La Casa. At this point, they've only had Evil Dead 1 and 2 out in the wild. Army of Darkness is still a dream. And so I can't remember who did this, but they're like, hey, we're going to make another one. And it has no connective tissue whatsoever to anything even resembling the Evil Dead movies, if you want to consider this a part of it, that series, even under the La Casa rebrand. And then you look at something to talk to your point of muddy or muddy bloody muscle bodybuilder in Hell, like, as something that's a standalone just tribute that has so much more.
Oh, it's an Umberto Lindsay flick. That's why.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There you go. But yeah. Just what a dumb movie.
Yeah, it's not.
But it is like riff. There's a riff tracks out there that's wonderful of it. So it is riffable, but
it's a movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's a movie that's got a really interesting idea. If you go, okay, I want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about the actual plot. This idea that they hear this screaming and this voice, and that it hasn't even happened yet. It's that's kind of like a Prince of Darkness thing going on with that. Which is,
I was thinking that earlier
kind of
about that.
Lovecraftian in nature, but then the execution is just
shit. There's really interesting. Okay, there is, even though I am trashing this and saying it's a terrible movie, there's very interesting stuff in here, like that. Like the guy who hears the recording of him, he's like, oh, that kind of sounds like me. And then later, he plays out his death to the beat. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? But everything else around this movie is shit. The casting is really bad. I'd say.
It's even unclear, is the little girl the entity in the home, or is it the clown doll? What is going on?
Yeah,
it's a very muddled movie.
Yeah, the gore is not fun at all, really.
It's really goofy in spots, and not
not intentional.
And not in it's so bad it's good goofy. It's just this is fucking goofy.
Yeah,
I know they riffed it, and I've watched the riff of it, but I'll tell you why I almost forgot we even did this movie, though. Even though I watched it, this movie is forgettable.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even with the riff, it's just forgettable.
Yeah, no, I own the riff tracks, and I forget that I do, because it's not even one I return to a lot, because the movie it's like well, I was gonna say it's Roller Gator level bad, but it's not, because Roller Gator is so bad it's imprinted in your mind. This is just, it's a fart on the wind, man. It's just gone. It's unpleasant to be around, but then once the wind carries it away.
Yeah, it's got like it's just got nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I hate saying that. I really
Yeah.
do, because I think a lot of these movies, even ones that are ostensibly bad,
Mm-hmm.
they usually have something you can kind of just grab onto, but I feel like it's that was your EP. It's just got nothing.
Yeah.
It's you know.
There's nothing to hold on to. And yeah, and it's just, if you're watching it for its quality as a movie and not like something to make fun of, there's nothing there. There's some poltergeist clown, knockoff clown that's does nothing. There's a kind of spooky girl that really does nothing. There's just the most annoying piece of music that replays over and over. This like piece of calliope music that's just they're trying to make it spooky. It's grating. It's like, fucking turn that off.
It
Yeah.
really is like, here's a really good idea, and then the idea never goes anywhere.
Yeah, it could have been a fun haunted house movie. There's pieces there, but they just never go far enough where you need them to go, or they just are just not even going in any direction that's coherent, I'd say. Like it, yeah.
It's not lazy, it's just bad.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like,
there's so much, there is stuff going on, but it's all meandering. It's all, there's no bite to anything. You don't feel stakes even when people are dying. And I mean, it doesn't help that, like, you can tell even with the dubbing that these are bad actors. Like, it's it's a letdown, especially when you're just in the mood for, oh, this is going to be a little bit of some spaghetti horror fun, and it's not.
yeah, it's not fun. That's the
No.
other thing. It's just I can forgive a lot when
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah,
And
if it's got energy, no energy. If it's got like style,
interesting or fun.
Yeah.
Go like the ogre, interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That could have easily, like, the bones of that movie could have made it just one of the most it could be easily just be the biggest snooze fest, but there's tons of style put into it. And even though it takes its time and it's definitely a slow burn, like, you can tell there's care put into it. And this is, I mean, not that there's not skill behind the camera, but there's just no aim, no direction, and just no overall concern for quality, in a sense that you want to connect all this stuff together. It's just, let's get this there, let's get this there, let's get this there. We'll call it a movie.
Of all the movies I think we watched, this is the one that most felt like a studio was like, we just got to put a movie out.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and especially, and I'm not too sure about the background of this, but just the way this, if I was a fan of the La Casa 1 and 2, and then, La Casa 3 is coming out, I would be so immensely let down by this. I'd probably be angry at this experience if I went to see this cold.
Have you seen Sweet Home? The Japanese movie Sweet Home?
Oh, no.
The video game. Yeah. This felt like a real shitty version of Sweet Home. Sweet Home's good. It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
I believe, I can't remember if the video game came out before the movie, or if the movie came out. I think they might have come out at the exact same time.
Maybe, yeah. I'm aware of both, though, and I've heard the acclaim for them. Yeah.
This is like a bad version of Sweet Home more than it is anything else. So
Hi, Maeve. I see you have binoculars out and are watching me from the kitchen. You're
Rear
not
Win-
creepy.
the remake of Rear Window. Instead, it's
It's
called From My Kitchen. It's a 5-year-old with binoculars. Look, I see
That's-
you doing things.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think honestly that this was the second worst movie we watched. Third,
Yeah.
maybe third. Because I'm gonna let you talk about Troll 2. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. In fact, why don't you do that right now? Why don't you talk about Troll 2?
Well, let's talk about the greatest
seen this
movie on our list, which is Troll 2. This movie is
which you're being generous saying.
I was a big fan of Troll 1 growing up, and when I was like, oh, Troll 2, when I saw them in the video store, I was so excited.
This can't possibly be bad.
And when I put it in, oh boy, was I wrong. This was terrible, but it was also one of my first experiences of watching something that was so terrible, but also so terrible it was fun that I found myself enjoying it in spite of everything. There we go.
I mean, it's so bad that there's documentaries about it being the worst.
Yeah, and it's blissfully unaware of how awful it is.
It's got heart. I will give it that. It is definitely a movie that's like, we're plucky.
Yeah, and written by, it's an American set film written by 2 Italian people who had never been to the States, and it shows. And it's full of such weird. And the funny thing is they wrote this in all seriousness.
I love when we get movies that are set in the States written by people who have no idea.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
I love that kind of completely detached version, because we as Americans get so much of that about other countries. Like I was watching someone talk about Black Rain the other day, and how American critics were like, this is almost racist about Japan, and then the Japanese gave it an award because they're like, no, this is pretty much this is the best foreign film about Japan this year.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because the people who wrote it were like, yeah, we went to Japan and we interviewed a bunch of people about Japanese crime, about the Yakuza. You know, we wanted it to feel like Japan because that's where it's set. And I was just like, thought it was hilarious that there were critics, American critics were like, this is racist about Japan. And it wasn't Michael Douglas, it was somebody else who was in the movie, was like
Andy Garcia, probably.
Yeah, I was like, have you been to Japan? And they were like, no. And he's like, I have. The guys who wrote it have. Like, don't you think that's a weird thing to say?
It kind of reminds me of it's not exactly the same, but like Spike Lee getting really mad at Quentin Tarantino for the use of all the racism in Django Unchained. It's like, well, I don't know if you want to portray like slave owners as like nice, like kind people. You know, it's this weird like disconnect of like, yes, to some sensibilities, what you're showing here could be completely offensive, but then to another set, like this is
so actually... I will actually side with Spike Lee on that, because
really?
I think Quentin Tarantino, especially based on how he handled Bruce Lee, is a piece of shit. He's a guy who's so knee deep in his own praise that he would never admit, even if he did something, because to him it's art. It's like pictures of Uma Thurman's feet. It's just art. Fuck you, Quentin. Not everything you've done is gold. Like, just stop stroking yourself to your own ego.
Just like, remind him of the segment he did for 4 Rooms.
I get it. He's a good director. But he's also a giant asshole.
Oh yeah, no, he's...
Oh god damn it, that's good.
Feet and Taryn. Ooh. Now that's a band name.
Yeah, that is a fucking band name right there. And their
But-
biggest hit is a cover of These Boots Were Made for Walking. I just also, like with Tarantino, like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get too far into this.
Yeah.
Tarantino's never seen a movie he hasn't stolen from. He
I
just
love the guy still.
he's like a mixtape of your favorite stuff from a time period.
He is. But he does it.
He does it okay.
Yeah. He pulls it off in a way that other people, when they try it, you're just like, what? Like say, even
Well,
though
the
I love this
reason-
guy, like Zack Snyder.
The reason, but you know, the reason is Tarantino's got money and he has the best actors.
Well, no, he puts a hell of a production together.
Yeah. No, I mean,
love it.
I just think that he's a guy who annoys me because he tries to come off like he's the smartest, most artsy guy in the room, and he's not.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah, which can't happen fast enough for me. Although I wish
yeah,
he would,
he
there's
says he's
two
gonna do one more movie.
the two projects he always talked about that I wish he would have done is he wanted to do a Star Trek movie, which I think would have been crazy.
I would have seen that.
And he wanted to do a Godzilla movie.
Oh, he had a fun idea too.
Yeah, it was like
He had a really
Under
good
the
idea.
Rule of Godzilla was the name of the movie, and it was about the people who basically kaiju toes.
Oh God, you know
Also
how many
great
shots
name
of that
for-
film would be like Godzilla's feet stomping
Yeah.
on people and like just
I would.
lovingly
That's
going.
no, this is another great band name, Kaiju Toes.
Yeah.
I think he had interesting premises.
Mhm.
He's not quite Brian Michael Bendis in the fact that he has great ideas and has no execution, because he has great execution as well. It's just I like his movies. I just don't like him.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. Like, because he is definitely he's someone who's
twat
aware of his
waffle?
own ego, and he loves to celebrate his own ego at any chance he. I wouldn't. Oh God damn it! Is he the Stan Lee of modern cinema?
No, because Stan did less than Quentin did.
I'll allow Steve Ditko to believe
Fuck
he
you,
wrote
Stan.
that.
I will say this too, which if you have an article that pops up in my feed where it says Stan Lee creation, I'm like, nope, you're not an actual journalist.
Mhm.
Like I saw something about Stan Lee's creation Galactus. I was like, no.
Yeah, Stan, how'd you come up with Galactus? Well, Jack was saying.
Yeah. Jack sent me a drawing.
Well, Jack sent me a
And I was
drawing
like,
with
this
all
guy
the
should be-
dialogue filled in, and I thought, how could I make this even more easy to read? And I thought, Excelsior, I'll just put all of the action into verbiage. Genius.
And the other thing that was, and I am not going to let this turn into me just hating on Stan for the entire time, because I can do that.
Oh yeah, me too, man.
Is if you watch anything where Stan is confronted with that stuff, he gets so pissed off, and he doesn't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's a big. It's just like.
yeah. I don't know. Like, he did his thing, and he definitely made some positive contributions to comics and got eyes on comics as a whole. And
I would say
probably-
that Tarantino is more his comics analog would be Todd McFarlane.
hey, yeah, Todd McFarlane loves himself. Oh yeah,
Todd loves him some Todd.
doddering old man.
I
Stan is fun.
don't like doddering old man Stan because he's even more insufferable.
Do go on.
He's the worst because he jammed himself into everything, and he was constantly like,
yeah.
I made this. Look at this thing I made. And it's like, no, you didn't, Stan. You did not make this. You literally, anytime it's brought up that you're just like, you just were like, well, that's not true. Fuck you, Stan. It's true. Everybody knows it's true. It's a dirty fucking secret in the comics industry. Fuck you.
Hey, he helped create Captain America. Sure, he was only 11, and by help create, he was related to one of the creators.
Oh God, I'm gonna have a fucking stroke. Can we talk about an Italian movie, please?
Yeah. All right. So Troll 2. No troll.
Ah!
No trolls in Troll 2. There's goblins. And how do we know that? Because the town is called Nilbog.
Nilbog.
Nilbog? That's goblin spelled backwards. Wonderful.
Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been called Oculard.
It could have been that. Troll 2 starring Stanley.
You know, I came up with the idea for Troll 2. I was sitting on the shitter, counting my money.
We're going to have goblins, but they're really trolls.
I can't even do a Stanley impersonation because he makes me so mad.
Yeah. I end up just trying to, I do a poor man's Jordan Peele eventually, whenever, but I love his.
Yeah, he nailed Stanley.
To the wall. Oh, take it, old man.
To the windows, to the wall.
Yeah.
To the
And if
sweat
anyone
drip off walls.
could isolate me just saying, oh, take it, old man, and make a song out of that, that'd be wonderful.
Oh,
Macho
God.
Man. Ooh, Macho Stan.
Macho Stan would be pretty
Macho
great.
Stan.
Let me tell you something.
Actually, but that would it'd need to be Hogan.
Oh, you want to talk about Hulk Hogan? Are you done talking about Troll 2 now? Because I'll talk about Hulk Hogan. I will talk about the good version of Hulk Hogan.
What are you talking about?
The
Postomania? Yeah,
no. I will talk about the good version of Hulk Hogan. The only redeeming thing of Hulk Hogan.
What's that?
The father from Cruel Jaws, who looks like fucking Hulk Hogan.
Tying it back together because oh my God. Yeah.
He looks like a skinny ass, your uncle, your drunk uncle is Hulk Hogan.
Oh no. Oh my God. Whenever I've watched like old school, like 80s, WWF, there's always this guy in the front row at every Hogan match cosplaying as Hulk. And this guy had to be in his 40s at the time. And it's the cringiest thing ever. But that guy looked exactly like the dad in Cruel Jaws.
The Norseman.
But before we get to Cruel Jaws, I just want to say Troll 2 is the greatest thing ever.
So, okay, before we'll get to Cruel Jaws in a second. Why is Troll 2 so endearing to you?
Oh my God. Okay. So
have you showed it to your kids?
Oh no. I don't know if they'd have I don't know if they could appreciate such a fine thing as Troll 2. Oh, thank you. But no, it's just because the reason I love it is it's, to me, I think it's the title of the documentary. It's the best worst film ever. I really feel like it is that. Everyone's waving, Maeve. All right. Because it's so bad. Like, the acting is so bad, but laughably so. The writing, the story is so bad, but laughably so. The special effects are so bad, but laughably so. It all comes together into this just wonderful misfire that I just can't help but
again, I will give it credit. It's not the worst movie because it's very earnest.
Yeah.
There's so much heart and effort being poured into it. And you got to get the feeling that they were on the set going, this is going to be great.
People are like really, they rolled into whatever little Utah town this was filmed in, and they plucked all these little actors out, and these guys, they're going to make it big, and they're giving it their all. And you can, this dad is awful, but he's also wonderful for how awful he is. I
think that's what it's got going for it. Beyond just being so laughably terrible, there is when you watch it, you're like, they're really trying, and I will applaud that, as opposed to Alien 2 and fucking La Casa 3, where you're just like,
and because I don't know, like the teen sister character, you can tell like this is a girl she's putting all the spunky attitude into the character. She's gonna hit it big. This little boy, he's gonna be probably the next Macaulay Culkin. Just watch out, it's gonna happen. Like you feel like like you can feel it's almost like all out of bubblegum. Like you can feel the actor's intentions behind the character. Like this is gonna be it. Like we're doing it, and they don't. And it's wonderful because of it. So yeah, I love Troll 2. I can't like if you want to have like a really good time just making fun of a movie, even by yourself, like Troll 2 I think can fulfill that role. It's just wonderfully bad.
It's a great
And,
like
yeah.
riffy movie.
Oh yeah, and like just the commitment to overacting is I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it.
Nothing's mailed in
a
this
monument.
movie. Yeah.
No.
There's no mailed in performances in this movie. It's like
No.
everyone is going for the Oscar. They're getting the Razzie, but they're going for the Oscar.
They're listening to the director and the writer's notes, and they've got it locked in, and they're going for it now. They know what they're doing. They understand these characters. They're living it, baby. It's so good. It's so good, and it's so cheesy, and it's the best unwanted sequel to a movie you like that you could ever hope for. I'll put it like that. Because I really truly do adore Troll. It was a childhood favorite of mine, and I still find a lot to love about it, even though that's another like so bad it's good. And this is so far removed from what Troll 1 is, but it's also on that same, if not even a higher plane of just ridiculousness that I just find so endearing. And I think with that,
you changed my mind. It's not the worst movie on the list.
Boom.
I moved it up
All
to the
right.
third
And
one.
now we talk about probably the second best movie on the list, Cruel Jaws. Which is this is gonna spoil the regatta if we do that.
You could tell I was watching it today when I'm in our chat.
I love that. No, I was just like,
fuck
there's
me.
Billy.
What do you know?
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it and the movie just replayed in my head, I think this might be the best movie that we did watch, actually, because there is so much about this movie that is.
This is like the perfect amalgamation of bad Italian movie, bad shark movie.
Oh yeah.
Every like 80s teen trope movie, but then it's like, hey, we're just gonna murder some kids.
Yeah.
Cruel Jaws does not fuck around. That one scene where they're all when the beaches are open, the shark kills like 15 kids. It's not trying to eat. It's just like doing drive-bys.
Yeah. This shark's it's cruel. It lives up to its name.
It is a homicidal entity. What does he call it? It's a submarine with teeth.
Oh, yeah.
All it wants to do is eat.
And oh man, God bless the dialogue where
Daddy,
we're gonna take.
Daddy, sharks are bad.
Dad?
Why do you have stuff all over your face? What were you eating?
It's Cruel Jaws' fault.
By
By the way, they were like, hey, this little girl and her real life dental issues aren't sympathetic enough. Put her in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This has big hidden like Lifetime movie energy as well, like underlying. It's so great.
There's a lot going on with this. Like
this movie literally is us rolling on a random table.
Yeah.
There's like lost ships with secret fucking government plans to create shark agents. It's just insane. This was the most riffable movie we've watched on Spoopy Boys yet.
Yeah, and I don't. Do they have like the? I don't even know if the.
I don't think they do because I believe I can't remember because I always forget between this and Zombie. If Cruel Jaws had a bunch of nudity, I think it had a little bit, but Zombie has a lot of nudity in it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I don't remember it too much in this. I don't know, because like it's so much. I just get so mesmerized by it, like just everything else.
It's shot like a late 2000s action scene as well.
Yeah,
It's dark and choppy, but it works for this
Oh
movie
my
because you're like, oh, there's a shark killing people.
so much. All of these movies, so much day for night scenes where
And
it's just,
Brian,
what a
oh Brian,
little lens.
Brian, my friend, your girlfriend.
Oh my god!
I love when she just loses it over his desire to help people and
Yeah.
catches shark, and she's like, "Fuck you, Brian, I'm going out."
Mhm.
And then she cheats on him, basically.
Yeah. Hold on. There's a little. Oh, she never listens. She's doing it again behind me. Okay. All right. Did I just freeze? No.
Next page.
Oh, King did? Okay. All right. Well.
Sorry,
Oh,
my internet.
no, you're good.
My internet decided to do this.
I thought it was me. So
No, I get
it's all
disconnected.
good. All right. All good in the hood. But yeah, like Brian and his problems.
Brian, okay. Brian, I know you're just trying to help out this town, but your girlfriend, no less than 3 times in this movie, before she fucking dies,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, she like literally throws herself at him. And that one time, she might as well have been naked because that thing she was wearing over her chest, that was like a bandage. It's barely a bandage.
Yeah.
So Brian is also the worst fucking oceanographer or marine biologist, whatever fish guy. I believe they call him.
Who's basically if he's. It seems like I don't know. He's supposed to be like
he's a fish enthusiast, is what my understanding does.
But he's like our,
and his voice is like this.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh
dubbed
god.
by
it's a tiger shark
character from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He's just like Stanley. Yeah, pretty much. Young Stanley. And there's just so much to love about this movie. It's so fucking. This one gets like all the recommend. Get your friends together. Fucking watch this movie. This one is a must watch with pals. This is one of the most riffable movies that I can't think of that's been riffed anywhere. It's asking for it. Like it's asking for it like Brian's girlfriend in the movie until she dies.
Yeah, it just
son of a bitch. You got Teresa killed.
And there's so many like distracting characters that populate this. Like there's a legit, like, we're not kidding. There's a Hulk Hogan. That's just running wild, brother. And it's just like,
it's gotta save those dolphins from being poisoned from fish shot up with strychnine.
Ooh, that would be.
Those shitty teenage villains were the worst. I was waiting for that one curly-haired kid to get fucking killed, and he gets killed in the weakest possible way. He and very pretty short hair girl, very tall, short, they were the worst. Like, even rich guy's son, who was a
it doesn't he
douchebag.
Is he the one who has the little pussy joke or whatever oh my god,
hair guy
that made me die inside.
I was like, I fucking hate you.
He was. Oh my god.
He was basically, if they wanted you to hate that character, it's the greatest writing ever done to mankind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
they were true bards.
Yeah, that was oh man.
You've got the spineless mayor, you've got the shady businessman who turns out in bed with the mob.
Yeah. Oh, it's like they took
on top of all this.
Yeah.
This is like 10 movies, like driving as fast as possible into one single collision. It's so great.
Strangely enough, this is almost more like Jaws the novel than Jaws the film with all this. Just we got the mob involved. People are sleeping with each other. Just like it's like Peter Benchley must have saw this and like my vision.
Stay away from my sister, you son of a bitch.
It's wonderful, but yeah,
there's casual weird racism.
Yeah,
they keep calling them the Swedes and the Northmen. It's like, what? It doesn't really make. But it makes.
I've never heard anyone being derogatory towards like.
And they're not even bad. Like not even bad people. They run a fucking aquarium.
Yeah.
They used to be like fishermen, like on a big like boat. And I don't remember. Did they say how his wife died and his child like became?
Oh God.
Became paralyzed, but yet could swim with the seals and dolphins.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's this. There's so much. Like I don't know. Like
this movie has to be seen to be believed.
I also would say you need to see this multiple times because there is just distracting shit happening.
There is
where you're just like.
There's the whole thing where they go to the very 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 Norwegian man and the woman go to the beach to swim and she dies in Jaws fashion, and then dude like runs away as she's screaming for help. He like maybe could get to her. He's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
he looks like the most stereotypical Norwegian man ever, and they can't even whoever they got to dub him even has a terrible accent.
Yeah, but it's
great.
But it's like Norwegian turned up to 10 because he looks like, I don't know if you've seen the meme of handsome Squidward. Guy looks like that. It's so insane, like just this huge.
He can't even quite like run correctly because he's so big. He's definitely skipped some leg days.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
And I love when the girl's like just jumps all over and they're on the beach and he's like, "Oh yes, baby," and she's like, "I want to swim first," and he's like, "Oh, then you go swim alone. I wait here for you on the beach." And then she takes her top off and he's like, "Okay, we'll get in the water." We should do it in the ocean. And then she gets killed by Cruel Jaws like immediately afterwards. Cruel Jaws. He's the ocean's Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Yeah. Cruel Jaws is forget regular Bruce the Shark.
I love how much stock footage is in this movie as well.
Every shark is stock footage in this. It's
so good.
Just like there's so much of like, oh no, here comes stock footage, and then like someone they're dead from the stock footage.
Yep.
It's just
it's this movie too that again there's an earnestness to it that I absolutely love.
Yeah, no, it
like when the whole like, if you want to be sure that's the shark that ate those people, you should cut it open, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Billy, what do we know about sharks? Well, Sheriff, you dumb fuck, read a book.
Yeah, like
you live in a coastal town with sharks. How do you not know anything about sharks that you have to go to a guy who's vacationing here with his girlfriend who's going to cheat on him and then die?
Yeah. Baby Matt not Matt Hooper, we should say. Actually, yeah. Not Matt Hooper from although like yeah, it's just it's so funny because
Cruel Jaws.
It's like it's not, you could say like, yeah, this is just a mindless like, you know, cash in on Jaws, but there's so much like such an effort to almost remake Jaws within this that like I can't say there is some love here in this movie that like they tried.
This movie is pure insanity. It's like Chat GPT wrote a Jaws movie. And I am fucking here for it. I am looking forward to the next time I can sit around with some friends in my basement and be like, hey, we should watch Cruel Jaws because it is amazing.
Well, like Spike put out, he's like, Spoopy Boys should maybe do a riff on it. If we can figure out how to do that, even if we're just like recording ourselves and like splicing it together to put out there for people to enjoy later, like I think like this would definitely warrant. I would love to sit around and make fun of this movie.
For it.
Yeah,
like I said, like Billy's girlfriend, this movie's begging for it. Cause it's like
she just needed the most simplest, just a whiff of an excuse to go cheat on him.
Yeah. Oh God.
For it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's also, it's not like he's like hey baby, hold on, I gotta do this fish research. It's like,
Yeah.
hey sweetie, hold on. There's a shark killing people in town.
You and yeah, it's just like, how dare you? Like you're gonna oh god, yeah. It's
fuck you.
I don't know.
I'm giving up, Billy. And then she immediately goes and gets with long-haired, bad guy who's basically the bad guy from Karate Kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Easy.
Except for his father is the bad guy from Roadhouse. Who's also in knee deep with the mom. You guys got to see it. It's the best. It's chef's kiss. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Like I said, it is such a mishmash of like every bad trope I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I know we did a lot of bubblegum.
Mm-hmm.
This was basically felt like a fever dream that should have been a lot of bubblegum.
Black Demon. That's the new one. I have not seen it. I think isn't it like a Meg gets loose on like a oil thing in the Gulf, Mexico?
I don't even know if it's a Meg. It might be like a demon shark, like a straight up demon shark.
I've not seen it. I've not heard the best about it even, but I'd watch it.
I think it's hard to make shark movies scary.
That's the thing, yeah.
Especially because in this movie, it's great. It's like you're like, oh, so they're gonna give us a little. Nope, there's a shark.
Yep.
They're gonna do Jaws. Not sure. Nope, there's a shark.
Yeah.
And also, I want to talk about that.
What?
The dudes who are going down to steal this top secret information from the USS Cleveland, the shark comes for them. So what do? They get in this cave, and what's the shark do? It collapses the cave entrance.
It's smart. It knows what to do.
And they run out of air, so they have to make a break for it, and then he offs them, and then he offs the boat.
The most realistic shark witnesses you will ever see attacking that cave.
Oh god, it looks like someone is throwing
it looks like someone
shark at a hole in the ground with a water filter on. It's so fucking great.
I was gonna say it looks like someone just took like their hand and put in a sock puppet. It was like it looks so shit.
So this movie hooked me right there. I was laughing so hard, and I was like, if this is what we're gonna get the whole movie, I am down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's wonderful.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the friends we made along.
Oh my god. It is. Oh, it's so wonderful.
It is. It's
so infinitely riffable, like so laughable. It's a movie. Like you ask me if it's a good movie, I'm like, no.
Oh yeah,
is
no,
it
you can't say
it's movie. Fuck yes, it's entertaining.
Not a good movie, but it's a good time. It's a very good time. And yeah, I think. With that, should we talk about our last but not least film?
Yeah, the
Zombie
controversial pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say this right off the top.
Because I mean, okay,
Zombie is in my top 5 zombie flicks all time.
Oh, really? Okay, all right, cool.
And
I don't know if I'd maybe put it in my 10.
Maybe in your 10. I'd be interested in knowing what else is in there then.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, okay. We're gonna have to make it.
Because so here's the thing about Zombie. It fits really once you kind of go, oh, it could not just be voodoo. It could actually be like, because they're kind of doing this whole, is it science or is it black magic thing going on?
Yeah.
I liked in my head came and think that this is just happening. So Night of the Living Dead happens. They get the dead under control. And then it escalates into Day of the Dead. I feel like Zombie fits right in between those movies.
Oh yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of
I think that was how it was
structured for it to be like that. Because I mean, and this I'll say is kind of a little bit controversial because, like, unlike some of the movies that we've covered here, this was an actually like, make this movie like this had all the blessings to be made, was intended to be made how it was like. So even though it's
Fulci, but Fulci was super tight with Argento and super tight with Oh my God,
Romero.
So
And I think Romero wrote Dawn of the Dead at Fulci's place,
or Argento, I can't remember.
or Argento. Hung out with these guys a lot though during the process.
Yeah,
of
he was
making,
over in Italy for a while.
Yeah, and I think they just they made this kind of like gentleman's agreement. Like, well, yeah, if you want to like piggyback off this and make your own.
But he wrote it at Argento.
Yeah, and it's got that kind of fun quality to it, and it's not a bad movie. It's a classic. I'll say that it is a classic. Although I don't rate it necessarily as high. Just because it's when I was younger, this was like one of those like gems to seek out. Like,
well, I had the great cover on the box.
Oh, wonderful cover!
The zombie with the
rotted zombie
coming out of the face. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Shark versus Zombie, that was a legendary. Like back at like before, like the internet really figured out like, oh, let's share video and stuff like that. Like back in those really early days, this was still one of those things that like, oh, have you heard about it? Well, you got to see this. You got to hunt this down.
Zombie fighting a
legit shark. Yeah, it's and also just the insane Italian gore. Like this has got what I would call Italian gore because like
it's got Fulci eye gore.
Yes, very traumatic eye gore that if you're not ready for it,
and if you've seen any of Fulci's stuff, he loves to do stuff with eyes. And there's a lot of stuff with eyes in this movie, not just like the trauma, but like
loves to get like
where you're looking in the microscope or just like close-ups on eyes. I think it probably has to do with like background doing giallo movies. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Movies. It's like the eyes being but this has and as someone who suffered real significant eye trauma, that the surgery, that eye trauma scene still bothers me. And I first saw it when I was in like middle school. And to this day, today, when I rewatched it, I was like, oh God, it gives me just the heebie-jeebies because it's not well done. And it's slow. Like he's like, I think the worst part about you're gonna have to sit with this, know it's coming, know this person's fighting for their fucking life here, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like it's so effective. You feel you feel that character fighting every centimeter of her being pushed towards that splinter of wood. And like my eyes are even doing it now because I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of like instinctively like squinting a little bit. It still packs a punch. It works.
I mean, and they mentioned set with it it's going in and then it gets broke off and you're like, oh
yeah.
It's well done too.
Oh yeah. No, they like some of the effects in this are a little on the cheesy side. Like I'll say the shark versus zombie in the water, that's a little bit of a letdown. The zombie looks a little blah, but also he's in water, so I understand.
It's a real shark.
And it's a real shark. A very sedated shark.
Yeah, but it's still a real fucking shark.
Yeah. So, but then like the gore
that he's riding on and pretending to eat. And like he's like mouthing into it. And you're like, oh God, really? That shark let you do that? How fucked up is that shark?
Yeah, I don't know. I will say the first time I saw that, I was legitimately let down. I was expecting, oh, this is going to be so nuts. This is going to be so crazy. And then it's like,
I think that
guy's like rolling around in the water with a shark.
That scene is more about the fact that it's the situation's real than anything else.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch the outtakes of Hong Kong 80s action movies, especially like Jackie Chan stuff, and you see the shots of stunts that did not work out. And you're like, how are like those people not fucking dead?
I was just watching a Cynthia Rothrock movie called In the Line of Duty 2.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that they should have cut out. I wish they had, because like you see in the very beginning, this dude comes running up to this like truck, real truck that's moving. Dude does a kick through the windshield, and you see exactly where his shin breaks in half. And I was just like, oh God. And I went and got my
I
wife, who's a nurse, and she just loved it. She's like,
I was watching an
ooh.
interview with her, and she was they were showing a clip from one of her first movies, and she gets
hmm
kicked so hard they stopped the scene. They took her to the emergency room because she's bleeding from the inside of her ear, and the doctor's like, "We really can't do anything for that." And she got back, and they were like, "What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Oh, this is Hong Kong. We're doing the scene. She went right
Yeah.
back to it, and she's like, "It's over there during that time period. You're gonna get hit."
Well, even still today,
Yeah,
my
like
understanding is it's
it
pretty
it
brutal
looks real because it's
because it is.
somewhat real,
Yeah.
and because it's so well choreographed. Like, they're so good. Everything is
Yeah.
so stupidly fast and pretty and amazing.
Yeah. I
I
guess yeah, like Donnie Yen, um he slips people like an extra 100. He's like, I'm gonna punch you. It's
Well, we
gonna
were talking
happen.
about
Just
that
punch
last weekend about Judo Gene LaBelle and Bruce Lee.
me.
The
Ooh.
whole thing about how, they called Gene LaBelle into the set of the Green Hornet because Bruce was hurting people because he didn't know how to pull a punch.
Yeah.
So Gene LaBelle basically helped him basically not get blacklisted out of Hollywood, and that they became lifelong friends because of that, which led to Gene LaBelle choking out Steven Seagal and making him shit himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. He also helped
Eventually,
Steven
yeah.
Seagal shit his pants.
Hell yeah,
Helps me.
Gene LaBelle, Gene
Yeah.
LaBelle, real American hero.
True hero.
Yeah,
After
true
that.
hero. This movie has got some definitive flaws in it, but I think most of the really good zombie movies do. Most of the really good zombie movies have periods of like lull, like false sense of security periods where like, oh, the siege is slowed. This movie doesn't have the siege is slowed. It has a lot of just kind of, there's two locations going on simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I feel like the stuff that happens in the harbor in New York could be a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter.
Yeah. I'll agree.
Well, actually, three things. The beginning, it's like the reporter and the daughter, the island, and the derelict boat. Like all this is going on simultaneously. We're just kind of jumping between it. So yeah, I get that complaint. I do. I think where this movie shines beyond, the what they were able to do with the zombies on that budget.
Yeah, no, for what the budget it has, it excels. It does.
I think it's the fact that the characters, our primary protagonists, act like people. Like when the woman who dives with the shark, who dives topless and with a bottoms that might as well again be a bandage, you can see everything. And then when she gets out on the boat, she's not wearing anything. Like her reaction when they find themselves to be in that where all those conquistadors are buried, she just freezes. I feel like that's one of the most like honest reactions in a zombie movie. She doesn't scream, she doesn't run, she just can't move. Like she's so terrified. She looks absolutely like distraught, and she just dies. And then when the boyfriend, or Brian, I don't know if he was the boyfriend or they were just whatever. He's so heartbroken that he's like, we got to take her with us. And they're like, she's dead. He's like, no, but yeah, we got to take her. He like can't deal with that. And he almost stays behind. They convince him to go with. And then later on, when she comes back as a zombie, he can't kill her.
Yeah.
And she bites him, and he's just kind of like, I almost snaps him out of it. Like, he's like, you got to kill her now. Like, he kind of realized, oh, fuck, she's dead. Like, it's a very, that in the whole siege of the church hospital is great.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's got a great siege scene. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that scene is worth watching the movie alone for. That is like, they're so competent in what they're doing in that. It may be one of the best, like most competent, like stands in a zombie movie. There's no arguing. It's not when we go to the second floor, we go to the basement. I would say it's comparable to Dawn of the Dead when they take the mall.
Yeah.
Where it's like we got a plan. We're gonna stick to the plan, except for the difference is they actually sat down and made a fucking plan. Here it was like, we just need to do this. Here's what we're gonna do, and they act rational about it. And when things get away from them, they leave.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
we're out. You know.
Yeah. I'll definitely give props to that. Like it's
and yet they still make the same mistake with Brian. That's what I love about that. And then how the movie begins is the parallel of putting somebody on the boat who's infected.
Yeah.
You know he's infected.
Well, they need that evidence.
That too was like, well,
yeah, but also that makes so much sense. I feel like
it does. It you know it does and it doesn't.
Because
they don't secure it.
As the audience, we know what's happened, but also, but they're so keen on what's going on too that it is that maddening thing where it's like, okay, they're trying to alert the world of this thing, but then it's like
buy it a little bit more because the one guy's a reporter.
Yeah, exactly.
The woman, this is the explanation for what happened to her father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, they're definitely have like a buy-in to it. I'm just surprised they're very haphazard with it when all this shit has gone down in front of them.
Yeah. I'd say that's where they fall back into the usual horror cliches.
But I love the parallel of like it's the same situation as the opening.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's that's really cool. And then also the reveal of, oh no, this got away from them while they were off, and they're coming back to an undead world.
Yeah.
From this undead. That's cool. That ending's always kind of stuck with me on just, I don't know. It's
like when the guy's on the radio and he's like, they breached the building. Oh God. And you start screaming. I love that.
Yeah. And I can't think of another, outside of movies that came after this, but anything before that really went to that, like that big of a switch.
Dawn did that. And I think the movie that does it best is Pontypool.
Oh yeah.
It's not really a zombie movie, but
you're aware that there's zombie activity happening.
Pontypool's great. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch.
Yeah.
It's basically a one location movie with like 4 actors. It's amazing.
I
can't think of the lead actor. Yeah. I watched Steve McHattie read the phone book. He's
great. He's been in a ton of stuff. Another great movie with Stephen McHattie that in the horror vein is Come to Daddy, starring Elijah Wood and him. Fucking fantastic. So good.
That's a disturbing little movie.
That is. And the less you know about that, the better. Just give it a watch. It's so good. So fun.
I watched that last year for 31 and 31.
Oh, good choice. Yeah. He said, go away.
No, he didn't.
I know he did.
Hey, Maeve, I'll talk to you when we're done.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Hit the bricks, kid.
I think this ended up being, is it the best movie? Yes. Is it the most entertaining movie? No.
Oh, like on the list?
Yeah, Cruel Jaws.
Yeah, Zombie would be, yeah. I mean, putting all my Troll 2 bullshit aside, Zombie is hands down the best film. And like legitimately it is. I'd say I'd go for the connotation that film has when you're talking to a cinephile. I'd say, yeah, it's a film for sure.
Again, like I said, most top 5 zombie movie for me, definitely.
Yeah. I'd definitely put it in my top 10. I'd say my top 5 are going to be filled with the original Romero trilogy, Return of the Living Dead, and I have a huge soft spot in my heart for the Night of the Living Dead 1990.
That's in my top 10 for sure.
I really like that one.
OG Romero trilogy. Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh,
Because Shaun of the Dead also feels like it fits right in with the Romero stuff.
Shaun feels like a legit zombie movie outside of all the funniness to it.
Well,
it
like I always
has
said,
weight.
like I say with this with that movie, 2/3 of the movie, then they get into the Winchester and things get a little wild. The mom gets bit. It turns into a horror movie for about 15 minutes to a legitimate bleak siege zombie movie.
Dude.
And you're
I
like,
remember.
oh God, they're not going to make it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just gonna say the first time I watched that, like I got swept up in the stakes of the story where I was like, oh fuck, no one's gonna survive. Like, oh, they're dead, they're dying, and then of course they comes to a very whimsical, fun ending, and you find out what everyone like kind of.
Have you ever seen the show Spaced?
Love Spaced. I've got
there's the
DVDs
zombie episode in that.
That's great. That is. Space is wonderful.
Which, if you haven't seen it, Spaced was the thing that Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did before Shaun of the Dead, which I think was like on Channel 4, and it's only like 6 episodes.
No, 12. I think.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons,
2 series. Yep, and
it's completely worth watching. It's great.
You see the DNA and all of the energy and stylings that will go into all of Edgar Wright's future projects,
and all of the like actors and comedians that share DNA with all those projects. They're all in there. They all make
like even Ricky Gervais pops up. It's like it's a who's who of that generation of British comedic talent. It's really cool.
It's got it's got the guys from Black Books in it who plays plays David, who dies horribly on Shaun of the Dead. He's great on that show as well. It's just a really, 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 really excellent show. And they wear their influences on their sleeve. Their Star Wars, Night of the Living Dead, comic books. It's like
one of my favorite quotes is I once punched a man in the face for saying Hawk the Slayer was rubbish. Yes. He's like, good on you.
I think that I will say I just had this discussion with my wife the other day. I do think out of the trilogy, I can't think of what the name of the trilogy is now, that Hot Fuzz is my favorite though.
Oh, the like End of the World trilogy, I think.
Carnigo or
Oh no, the Cornetto trilogy. That's it. Yeah.
I think Hot Fuzz is my favorite.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz does a lot for me that the others don't, and it's frustrating for me that other people don't laugh at what I'm laughing at when I'm watching Hot Fuzz. It's like, this is fucking brilliant. Why aren't you losing your mind? Like
this is like one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Like there's a scene I always nearly piss myself. It's just this quick little bit. It's towards the end where Jim Broadbent's been found out to be the bad guy, and they're like chasing him through the like crypt tunnels or something like that, and he hits something, and it's it's just this quintessential action kind of like shot where he's sitting there as the bad guy going like, rah, and you see like
sneers, the sparks, he turns and sneers,
yeah, and the sparks from like a light come spark. I lose my mind with laughter. It's so fucking funny, and it has no right to be, but there's just something about it. They just nailed that DNA. And then of course, fucking 007. I can't remember his real name right now.
Was it Pierce Brosnan?
Timothy
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. When he gets the spike.
Yes. He's great in that movie.
He's
a highly underrated
that movie actor. Like that really, I forgot how good he was until watching that. And then like it's like after he did Hot Fuzz, all of a sudden this like kind of resurgence for him happened, it seemed. And like loved Timothy Dalton.
He's great in The Rocketeer.
Wonderful villain.
He's amazing in Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah,
he
was a good Bond. I really liked him as Bond.
I just find him to be a very entertaining actor.
Yeah, and oh man, one of the best parts of Penny Dreadful is
I literally just got goosebumps when you said that. Yeah, he is amazing in Penny Dreadful. So I think our consensus is that, in my opinion, it's a grab bag whenever you watch one of these.
Yeah.
You're either you're gonna get gold or you're gonna get shit. It's
Yeah.
there's not a lot in between.
And some of that shit might have little nuggets of fool's gold that you can be like, well, this is kind of fun. It sparkles. But it's still a little bit of shit at the end of the day. But also, like, the one thing I'll say is, like, hats off to the Italians for
Hell yeah.
doing this. Yeah. It's sometimes the ideas are there's nothing to it, and they're just cashing on a sequel like Alien 2 on Earth. I whatever. But then there's like some really, really fun stuff happening. Cool Jaws. Like, I feel like, even though it's, yeah, you could say ripoff, but I think it's a ripoff done with like complete love. And the ogre on its own is this really fun.
Not gonna lie, they had us in the first half. Missed you by that much, Odell.
But yeah, like it is a grab bag, but it's there's
you have to go with the right mindset.
Yeah, you got to go.
I find with Italian movies, you have to be like, okay, there's a reason they're called spaghetti westerns.
Yeah,
it's because they were so good, they created their own genre away from Western, classic American westerns themselves.
Yeah.
But if when you get into the Italian horror and you steer away from Giallo and you move away from like Argento's Mother trilogy, all bets are off.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with. I've never heard anyone go, man, I really like this Italian post-apocalyptic movie. I've always heard people go, the Italians did post-apocalyptic movies. You gotta watch them because they're all insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's God, that genre in and of itself is just bonkers. But
I definitely think it's a viable. There's movies that are always going to be viable though, and this. I think one of the things, as opposed to Japanese movies, is the Japanese movies that we've talked about aren't trying to sell themselves to an American audience.
No,
they're like, you got to come to us. We're not coming to you. As opposed to the Italian movies where they're like, are you doing Matt Berry there from IT Crap Father? You are, I approve. What are we doing next, man? What's our next one movie, and then what's our next?
Well, for the one, oh God, I had initially I talked to you about. There's a newer movie out called Cobweb that I thought would be.
I want to hear Maeve do her version of Matt Berry's Father.
Oh God, I don't.
When we used to play Minecraft with Dave and Ollie, and one time Ollie said "Daddy" to Dave, and I just started going. Every time Ollie jumped on, I would be like "Daddy," and then we would just start doing it back and forth. And David was like, "Thank you for that."
Yeah.
Thank you. It's like, I think it's great. It's not my kid.
Yeah, that's where the greatness comes from, always. In those situations,
it's the burden you're hefting upon someone else.
Oh, I love doing that stuff, and then just getting to walk away and be like, I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, so Cobweb was what I was thinking for our one-off, but I had an idea of something else, and if I can't think of that, then I'd say let's shoot for Cobweb. I got it, so we could get together to watch it, and then for our next big episode, since we're gonna be in October, I was thinking like, I don't know, a Halloween series deep dive. Like I would love to talk about it.
I would really like to do the 31 and 31.
Oh, 31.
And I know that Halloween's on a Tuesday, and I would also really enjoy doing something on that Tuesday instead of Mang on Mang.
Okay.
But I'm thinking maybe we do the long one first and come up with our movies for the month.
Okay.
Let me pull up my calendar. See what those days were next month.
Or if we wanted to kind of switch it around, or wait, I don't know, because if we're doing a 31 for 31 and you want to do like kind of like newer movies or movies that like we haven't seen as much or not at all, then that might fit better in that.
So our next Spoopy Boys would be on the 28th, correct?
This month?
Yeah. Because we're doing every other
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah, all right. Should we make that a long episode then or small?
Let's do that, a long one.
Okay.
And we'll do sorry, I'm trying to think of words here. We'll come up with our list, or at least how about we do our hopeful list, because sometimes things just don't become available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we'll do our short one 2 weeks after that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that sounds great. All right, man.
Colin, where can people find you?
Right here, doing my thing.
Oh God, Spoopy Boys Extra Life.
I do that.
I don't know if you saw this, but my friend Joe reached out to us, who's organizing for some con up north next year.
Oh.
And he asked us if we would be interested in doing a live Spoopy Boys up there.
Yeah.
Depending on the COVID situation, but I'd be down.
Yeah. As long as your health is permitting it, man, I would go do it. Yeah.
It's in the Spoopy Boys chat.
Okay. On Discord?
And Facebook. We saw.
On Facebook. I'll have to go check that out. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, I'd totally be down with that. But yeah, I would also like doing something Spoopy Boys for Extra Life could be fun, even if it's I don't know what.
It'd be cool if we had like a horror trivia game to do in there.
I would.
Oh, we'd be doing it live, so we would stream it live.
Yeah, I would love to do a some kind of horror trivia thing. Like I don't know what. I know there's like old school like games out there of like this is Friday the 13th, the trivia game, stuff like that. We could probably hunt that stuff down, but no, man, that'd be fun. I would love that.
Oh yeah. I will figure something out. We'll keep talking about it.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. So, you boys
maybe we could do that'd be a dope time to do a watch along if we can figure it out.
That's what I would desperately love us to do, a watch along. I think that would be so fun for the audience and so fun for us. Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Yeah. I am here tomorrow for betting game.
I am going to be doing something with my wife because it's our anniversary. I'll let you figure that out. Probably me watching Barbie with her because we bought that. It looks fun. Mitch, what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm playing. It'll be something probably for about an hour. Sunday is prep school, and we'll probably get ready because I'm an idiot and Chaos Scar is the 18th, so we'll figure that out. And then the 19th, Mang on Mang.
Word.
And then I have a bunch of days where I don't have anything going on stream, which is going to be glorious. So, oh crap, that's awesome, Mitch. Congratulations, man.
Hey, dude, yeah.
I don't think Matt's on prep school this weekend because I think he's at the toy show.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just tried to put my glasses on and all the junk I put in my hair has solidified into a helmet. I can't put my glasses.
You now have Stan Lee hair.
I don't know. That rug was pretty amazing.
All right. Thank you for hanging out and talking Italian sequels with us.
Thanks, everybody. Mitch.
Spoopino.
Super Spike.
Thank you guys. Whoever watches in the future.
Yes.
Go watch Go watch Cruel Jaws with your friends.
Watch Cruel Jaws. Watch it alone. Watch it with a friend. Watch Troll 2. Watch it alone. Watch it with a friend. Everything else, watch with a friend. Don't watch Alien 2 on Earth.
Just
Keep
don't
it
watch
with a friend. Maybe send it to an enemy. Maybe if you
Send it
are
to
that
an
cruel
enemy.
of a person, send it to an enemy. But that's if
I
you
watched
wake up and
I watched Cruel Jaws, aka Cave Jaws, on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
Mitch has a story. You have to get it to us, Mitch, and we'll definitely talk about it.
I'm hoping when we hear the story, it's about how awesome Troll 2 is and how it's a worthwhile.
All right. If you missed last night's thing, you missed us cutting Beard off during his bragging about being Legolas in a Gimli body, which is all right. See you tomorrow. Have a good Friday.